I am so excited to welcome Angela Podolsky here today to join us to talk about body language. Angela works for a company called Kinesics, which is her own company, and she is a body language expert, and all of us can learn more, about how we show up in the world, and we're so excited to have her here with us today. So Angela, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Vicki.
You're welcome, and we're thrilled to all the things you're going to teach us today. So I just want to spend a second and talk about WILempower, who's hosting the video today. But WILempower is all about women, and it's, our focus is about leadership. And a quote that really resonates with me, if it's okay, I want to read that to you because I thought it really is appropriate for what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
But knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. But mastering yourself is true power.
That's amazing. And I truly connect with that quote because it's so important to understand yourself first before you even go and understand or try to read others. So many today try to read others and try to figure out what are they trying to say. They read books about what are trying to say, what this gesture means, what this gesture means. But the first and foremost, I always say you have to understand yourself first. Because if you don't understand yourself first, then you make the one contaminating that reading. So you may read that somebody is reserved, or you may read that somebody is not interested or disengaged or whatever it is, but you don't know why they are doing that. And if you don't understand yourself, then you may be, as I said, contaminating.
Well, that's fascinating. So we'll just talk about an example. So when I'm driving in, crazy rush hour traffic and some guy runs me off the road, and mentally I'm saying, oh, I need to calm down. But my external, my body language, the guy's looking at me going, what are you pissed off about? Because I'm angry, right?
Yeah.
So is that kind of what you're talking about with respect to?
Well, kind of,
Okay.
yes. So it all connects together, right? Nonverbal communication is part of emotional intelligence, even that some people may not think about it that way, but it is. It's part of emotional intelligence. And what you're talking about is triggers.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's important to understand about triggers, first and foremost, is that they're necessarily to us. Means that some people think triggers are not good, but triggers are great. They're here to protect us from anger or fear or surprise. They're here to protect us from harm. Right? So for an example, if you see a lion, right? You need those triggers.
Absolutely.
So you need to know.
You gotta run fast.
Oh my God, I'm scared. I have to get out of here, right? So triggers are great, but then you have to ask yourself, if this is my trigger, because triggers cannot be changed, but triggers you can identify and then see what you do about them. So triggers will always be there, but if you're aware of it, then you can change that relationship with that trigger. So for an example, if you have anger, as you mentioned, and then you see, okay, anger is coming up. Okay, I recognize that. I know I'm feeling anger now. Now, all of that shows on your 5 channels of communication. What are they? There are verbal content, verbal style, tone, face, and body. And those are really important to know because when you have that trigger, Vicki, then it will show up in one of those or all of those 5 channels of communication.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm going to expand on that if we can for just a second.
Sure.
Because as you were describing that, I just had this powerful visual in my mind. So as you know, I'm an executive coach, and I work with a lot of women in the C-suite and that sit at the boardroom table. And so one of the things that happens a lot of times is, let's say we're in one of those meetings and we're doing a presentation and we present an idea, and the guy next to us says, he starts expanding on your idea. Well, your body language then just kind of sinks.
Yeah.
So that would be a trigger, right?
That's a trigger, and that's so common for women, right?
Yes, it is.
And it's so important for women to understand and recognize what their body language is saying. Because as women, when we sit at a table with men, watch the men's body language. Please watch it. So then you can understand what is that you're doing that is different. Because if you're at a big table and you want to be talking, but you are sitting like this, crossed hands, or your head is down, and or you're holding your neck where you're protecting kind of yourself, right? Then you're not showing that confidence. You're not stepping up. Careful on that, okay? But that's what you want to create to build a better rapport.
Yeah. And I felt different when you switched your body. It was like you took me out of your space, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of shut me down. So I do want to point out, so the finger pointing, right? That's really powerful. You shared that with me a couple of months ago. And so I've been really cognizant and conscious of trying to make sure when I'm speaking with my palms up, and never even realized, because I really was a pointer. And so I've paid more attention. So thank you for sharing that. Seems simplistic, but what a powerful way to get people to actually to remember, yes, but also the approachability. It makes a huge difference. So,
and with that, Vicki, my pleasure. And with that, what you said in your quote is what beautiful is that you need to understand yourself first. And then with that, what you did is you recognized that, you did self-reflection. And then after you did the self-reflection, you saw, okay, I'm very open person. I'm very welcoming. I'm a warm person, but I'm pointing. That's incongruency. So I need to shift that. So ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you a pointer? Are you doing the palms down, or are you doing the palms up? And when you recognize that, then you can shift that.
Yeah, those are great tips. Thank you, Angela.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. So hopefully we can do maybe a couple more of these videos, and that will help our audience actually learn even more about how to be congruent. But I want to thank Angela Podolsky again for joining us with Kinesics, and we have her contact information if anyone's interested in learning more about body language and how to really make sure that what you're saying verbally is actually being said through your body. So what a great experience today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vicki, for having me.
You're welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you. High five.